Today, let's talk about two guys in Florida, and they're both real estate guys. Now, I want to compare Ben Mallah and Grant Cardone. Uncle Grant. The other day, both guys came on and they made a comment. They said, one guy said, cash is king. The other guy said, don't invest.
That is garbage.
The question is, why would they both say the opposite things in a time like this? Well, it really depends on who these guys are. Number one, Grant Cardone is speaking to one type of audience, while Ben is speaking to another type of audience. However, let's think about this. Ben does business with banks. That's his business partners. Banks, and maybe one or two partners are, family, that kind of thing. But he's pretty much the main source of his building up his business. Where Cardone, his main source is he does business with other people. He brings in syndication. He does syndication, so he brings in a lot of funds. If I tell you cash is king, well, the reason why Ben says that is because he's giving you real advice for you. Ben basically does not need your money. He doesn't need your money. Now, Cardone on the other side, he does. He needs your money because that's what he does. He does syndication. His business is built upon the idea that he can get money from investors, right? Accredited and
Get your money ready. Non-accredited investors. Uncle G is going to take care of you and your family.
it is in his best interest for you not to hold on to that cash. Take that funded and buy something huge. Now, there's some good in that. Don't get me wrong. There's some good in that. There's a person where that fits perfect. Ben on the other side, he's just giving you advice. He's telling you cash is king. And what he means is right now, it's going to be a little harder to get loans for rentals since every bank knows that renters are not paying or may not pay. If you got cash, guess what? You can still go to some property owner who's now probably starting to notice that they're holding on to that property for month one, then month two, month three. Guess what? They're going to be a little hungrier because they also need cash. And if it's a rental, they also probably have not been getting their rents as well. So this might be stressing them out. They might be thinking to themselves, I am 65, 70 years old. I don't want this. I don't want to have to wait. I want to get out of this. You know what? Let me cut it to 50% for the first guy who has cash. And that is why cash is king. And that is what Ben is giving you advice about. Now, on the other side, Grant Cardone's saying, listen, I know who you are. You don't want to deal with some cheap price and deal with some bad tenants with Section 8. Well, that's fine too. You are more like an investor, he's saying. You want to take that cash that you have, instead of leaving it in the bank. Cardone is investing in very big, strong portfolios. Now, his portfolios are beautiful. They're luxurious. They're what all landlords want to really have. Sometimes these portfolios are so massive and so beautiful and so new and so A-class that any disruption in the economy, they're the first to kind of start to feel the squeeze. Because of that, the people who are renting there usually go down. But what Grant is saying, this is where you want to be because they will go back up. The real question is, can you wait until they go back up? And we don't know when that is. I would say go with Ben because Ben is giving you real estate. Ben is a landlord. Grant Cardone is a salesperson / business owner / investor, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. In conclusion, the question really comes down to why would these two people give me opposite advice? Well, one guy's giving you advice for your benefit because he could care less. He has nothing to do with what you will gain or lose. The other guy's giving you advice for his own benefits because he kind of cares about your money and needs it. All those guys who are bringing prices up for the past years are now, they're probably stuck. They're full with loans. They got tenants who's not paying. They're at their height of their pay. Grant Cardone is one of those guys. Unfortunately, it's true. Because he overpays for stuff. He's paying at the top dollar. And usually when you're paying at top dollar, you need the ramp. Like you need it like yesterday to make sure that you pay all your stuff, and then your profit's usually there, but it's, it's there. Most of those guys worry more about the appreciation of the property and the property value going up. But in this instance, Ben is speaking to the guy who just wants to get in, who wants to become a landlord. Cardone is speaking to an investor, someone who just wants to make money. Take your pick who you are. The best advice is if it's free and they're not getting anything out of it, then there's no need to sugarcoat. There's no need to lie to you. Right? But if a person has an intention, be careful. Because at the end of the day, if they're making money or they have a source or a way to make money with the advice that they're giving you, then you got to be careful because that advice might be tainted. That advice might be biased. Like, subscribe, and share.